about. He said that I went to the park today and someone spoke to me in Catalan. They were like, hello, which is the same word as in
Bumper.
And I was like, how dare they? How can I live in this fascist city? And I thought, well,
10.
I guess Americans are just like us.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, a 2, a 1.
10 seconds remaining.
Hello everyone and welcome back to ESL 1 Fall Bootcamp Edition powered by Intel. Group stage continues. I'm Seeking Strike and joining me is Avo Plus live from Barcelona. How's it going over there, Avo? Still hot?
Yes, very hot. It's getting hotter by the day. It's crazy. I started the day today at 35 degrees. I was melting into this chair. But then we got some really hype games, and then there was a fresh bucket of ice water poured over Tundra, so that was a way to cool down. Now we get the PSG.LGD versus Liquid, so you know I keep myself hydrated with these games, and I'm so excited to actually talk about this draft.
All right. Well, if you're that excited about it, let us not delay and get right into it now. Draft live on your screens. Ladies and gentlemen, PSG.LGD on the Radiant side. First pick, Liquid with Dire. It's going to be the Coddle. We've had a very Coddle-rich day today, haven't we, Avo?
Yeah, but what I like about Liquid is that you look at their first ban, it's the Clinks. Yesterday, we actually saw PSG.LGD bring this out, particularly against a Slark matchup. So, because that was really good, actually. Clinks always a good counter to Slark because you don't have any stats. You just have HP and damage. The stats don't matter to Clinks. And it was really nice because Abe is just incredible on this hero. He actually used to be very much known for the Clinks back in the day, like many years ago when Clinks was actually kind of relevant. He was a sad boy of China. And good, but obviously he hasn't played in a long time. I think the new Clinks suited him so well, so I'm actually really impressed by Team Liquid respect banning this, and I love the start of Bane Void Spirit. It's actually a strong start for Liquid.
That it is. Two purple heroes, but most importantly, a hero that can reach and cut this Coddle, whether he's mid or position 4 or 5. They have at least some solution to him. LGD will next go for the Sand King. A stun with a decent... You know, it's not a single target stun, right? It can be, but you've got the opportunity to line up for much more than just that. So although this Bane, you know, as we like to say, oh, if you stun him, it's a decent victory. Well, Sand King might be able to find 1 or 2 heroes along the way to the Bane with some good positioning. I think that's at least a bit of a win here in terms of this lineup. So now we've got something to stop the Bane, not a free Bane game. As LGD will actually look to ban out the anti-mage. So we're probably going to see like a DOTA ban here from Liquid as we continue to play the game of what shall the carry be. Gotta love the draft metagames, draft mind games as well.
I think this really opens up. I put the flex pick anyway outside. I think Coddle is still not great though. You see Coddle support because I really would like to see people start to introduce things against Bane. I don't really care what they do, but just something against Bane, because most of the times Bane gets a free draft. And while Sand King is decent against them, I just want to see some save. Why is Oracle so bad? He didn't get such heavy nerfs. Please, I know he got -1 armor and Coddle got +1, which is why Coddle has substituted him, but I think Oracle's fine. I think we should see more Oracle, particularly against the Bane. I know that obviously his damage still goes through Oracle, but the False Promise is so good against Fiend Script, it just nullifies his hero completely, and you can use the Fate Seek for other heroes instead.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I guess people just really prefer going with a much lower cooldown, lower commitment kind of ability, right? Like the drummer, right? LC, PTA, obviously Omni Knight, but he's currently in this tournament been kind of first ban material. As Liquid show, this game is no exception. LGD banning out a lot of carries though, well as the Earth Spirit of Taiga. I think Liquid, they hit us with a Quake Storm Taiga Earth Spirit game earlier today. Saw Liquid go 1 game apiece versus Empire earlier on the B stream. We'll see here how they can do versus PSG.LGD.
10 seconds remaining.
Let me just check standings real quick to get updated.
5 seconds remaining.
Because I do believe in our Group B matchup, Liquid have drawn all 3 games. So they're currently sitting at 3 points alongside Alliance and currently tied with LGD. LGD with a win, a tie, and a loss. Right now, though, Avo will be pleased to hear Beast Coast top of the group over with a total score of 5-1.
Why would I be pleased to hear that? I have zero attachment to that team.
It's true, absolutely
I
right.
mentioned them barely.
Well, who's on Beast Coast again?
Is it Hector, Chris Luck, Whisper, Schofield, and Stinger? I don't know.
Surprised you didn't use their real names.
Because a lot of their real names or the names they call each other I cannot say on stream. That would be awful.
Fair enough. Well, don't they call someone the old man?
No, that's jokingly. They actually call him Pantera, Stinger. They call him Panther.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, yes. They have names for everyone, and some are not okay. Anyway, Team Liquid, third pick. We'll see what they. This is the pick that defines their draft a bit more. I like their start a lot. I think if you get something that can also utilize the Bane, I actually would love to see them run Magnus. They've done this a lot. The Magnus Bane combo, I think, with the skewer is so powerful.
10 seconds
You get
remaining.
a really good anti-BKB lineup, which kind of forces, and the enemy doesn't really know what to do, because Void Spirit you need BKB, but against Bane and Magnus you don't, and it opens up the draft for you. So I think Magnus is actually pretty solid here.
Feels like LGD are kind of anchoring themselves for a DOTA pick here, don't you think? AM banned, Monkey King banned as well. We still see him with Diffusal Blade now and then. On top of that, Echo Saber. Slark in the pool, though, isn't he? Yeah, Slark is in the pool. For now, Liquid.
Okay, well, that's good.
Haven't we seen this same exact draft from Liquid earlier today, except with a Storm or something instead? It's strikingly similar. Nyx Assassin as, what is that? 5th pick overall in the draft, right? Super powerful, it feels like. Doesn't reveal anything about your draft. Casual combo breaker. Makes sure that you don't necessarily need to ban the DOTA.
PSG.LGD's turn to pick.
Pangolier. Okay, very good answer. I'm surprised Pangolier actually made it this far into the pool. That guy's Pangolier's so good. And I mean, I guess the Bane counters him, so that's why. So I'm assuming LGD is running this as a support. Because otherwise, if you run a high position Pango, particularly in this game, like a mid Pango versus something like Bane, that feels pretty bad.
5 seconds remaining.
But if you run him as a support, it's fine. He's wasting a Fiend Sweeper on support, and he's the only hero that can counter him, so it's a pretty big deal. Otherwise, you stun Bane anyway, so you're kind of forced to use the Fiend script. That's a solution that's not Oracle oriented towards the Bane, which I'm okay with.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you're going to be rolling around in the fights, might as well look to clip the Bane while you're at it. But now we need to reveal something for LGD here. Either it's going to be a carry pick, which sets you up to be immediately counterpicked, or it's going to be an ET, which still keeps it a little bit vague, doesn't it? Maybe it's a Coddle mid then? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts with this?
I mean, if you're thinking Void Spirit's gonna go mid, then Coddle mid's pretty good. But you could also have a Void Spirit plus Bane lane, or a Void Spirit Nyx lane, which is fine too. I think offlane Void Spirit's really legitimate these days.
Yeah.
Obviously, Void Spirit mid is still fine against Coddle, because even though you lose the lane, you will hunt him afterwards, so that's okay.
I think this is pretty decent though, because last game we saw Tundra, right, kind of go up against this, where they decided to just pick a TA, right? I don't think TA is really too viable, because then I think you just send Sand King mid. Oh, they're going to do it. They're going to do it anyway. Right, okay.
Just in case.
But this isn't as good as a draft, because now I feel like you can just send Sand King mid, and TA's a little bit sad about this.
Well, but then you go TA carry, Void Spirit offlane, and pick a different mid.
Turn to ban.
Okay,
last pick.
That's true. Yeah, they do have last pick. I forgot second pick's a lot stronger than it used to be.
Also, it's a Liquid. Their pool of heroes might be, like, people criticize them because they tend to pick around the same pool of, like, 20-30 heroes, but they also play all of these 20-30 heroes in every single position. So, on that note, they're pretty good. They have versatility that other teams don't have, so I don't think they're too bothered by this. DOTA ban, yeah, fair enough. I mean, LGD definitely needs a carry. I think a tanky carry is the right choice. I like the DOTA. TV is very weak against Bane, though, unfortunately, but you might opt for that.
10 seconds
that one seems tempting, but without a save, it does feel really risky, doesn't it? They may be thinking about it, though, right? With that Darkseer ban, might just be thinking about it.
What I'm thinking, actually, is Phantom Lancer. I think Phantom Lancer is the top choice here. Because TA spill got reduced considerably, now it's harder for you to get through the copies. Bane sucks against Phantom Lancer. for obvious reasons.
I mean, you say that, but we saw, what, like 4 Fiend's Grip kills onto a PL earlier today?
Right, I mean, if you want to die, you can die as PL. Don't let me stop you from committing suicide, but I think it's still a good pick.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Insania, I think earlier today had caught Smiley Knight quite a few times, though, which also surprised me. I don't think I brought it up at the time, but no, yes, very true. So what do you ban PL here if you're Liquid?
PSG.LGD turn to pick.
Okay, so PL available.
Yeah, Slark is very good against Bane as well. I see the Slark pick. Also, maybe they're thinking about the last game and they're like, yeah, Bane can just get caught by Fiend's Grip. Insania too good. I still think PL is good here, no.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm not the biggest fan of TB. I think you do have enough damage to get through him. I think it's just okay.
Remaining.
Most of the hard carries not great because Bane will counter those.
Yeah, like I'm looking through what's even left in the pool. It's going to be like a TB. It's going to be a PL. Sven not good here. Sven really bad here, actually.
Watch them pick Sven now.
No, there's no way. I mean, Sven is really, really not good versus these 4 particular heroes.
Since we're getting that out of the way, please not Jug.
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
That is going to be the TV. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I like the PL more than TB, but I think it's fine. It's a reliable pick anyway. You just trust your team to be able to cover you well. I think it's okay. It's not... Yeah, it's good with Kato as well, so...
Yeah. Oh, true. No, it is very good with Kato, right? Because like you said, lowers the cooldown of meta, but also lowers the cooldown of counter image. It doesn't discriminate between the abilities as long as it's not an ultimates, and that is a very powerful one indeed.
Choose your hero.
Into the Timber Saw then. So it's going to be what? Who are they sending mid? Who are they sending safe lane? Or are they sending the Timber mid?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm hoping, though, it's... Oh no, it's Coddle. Oh yeah, I mean, Shinkyu was one of the first people to start doing the dig on Coddle thing, even though he's playing 4, right? Job on the Pangolier. Yep, Void Spirits loses that lane, but does TA. This is okay by Liquid. I don't feel... this Timber is just okay. I'm not too sold on it. You actually have a lot of magical damage and a lot of magic amplification. And Timber sucks against Pango for the most part. And Sank.
Yeah, Sand King here. It's a good Sand King game, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, this is not the... I'm not too sold on this Timber pick. I think it's just fine. I think the Terrorblade... You can pick a Terrorblade and it's just fine lineup because of how strong the hero is, right? I don't think you can pick Timber in a game where it's just fine because you are lacking now maybe a bit of an offlaner or a bit of a team fight here. Your team fight's mainly the Nyx Assassin. Maybe a bit of Void Spirit.
Oh yeah, you're right. Team Liquid's team fight is really weird, isn't it? Because like you're saying, if it was a good Timber game, for example, Timber just sows chaos and discord in the team fights, and then you've got plenty of damage on the rest of your other cores to just make it work. But I could see very well a situation where Boxy tries to Timber chain into a fight, and he finds himself meeting his maker courtesy of a Coddle, right? So, or a Sand King, for example. Yeah, so that is a little concerning.
I do see if Shinkyu goes for the Dagon build again, like I'm telling you, if he plays it like he was playing in, I think it was DOTA Pit he was running that build. It's just easy death for Timber, and Coddle 4 also farms fast. We've all been so, I guess, spoiled with all the Coddle mids, but Coddle 4 farms pretty fast as well for a 4.
Alright guys, I know we probably lost this game, but we can still do this.
You just don't go for the 3 nulls beforehand or the 4 or 5 nulls beforehand, however many you want.
And probably the BOTs as well on the position for Coddle.
Alright guys, I know we probably lost this game, but we can still do this.
I don't think it's a bad draft by Liquid. I see where they're coming from. And it does suit their style. So positive points for Liquid's draft is good lanes, good early tempo, which is they love, great kill potential for like early pickoffs. Even if they lack once they get to team fights, it's fine because they have heroes that snowball easily. So the idea of Liquid's draft is I'm going to get a bunch of pickoffs early and do decently in my lanes, and then once we fight 5-on-5, we'll have item superiority, so who cares if we have worse team fight. I think the strategy is solid, even if I don't like it as much as LGD's.
Like Liquid, to this point, right, they hunt real well, right, for pickoffs. It's no last patch, you know, Nyx into Hoodwink, or Hoodwink basically +1 more nuke. But Nyx to set up Vision. I mean, Ame is a very safe farmer on the TB especially, but I could definitely see him getting caught out here just because of how mobile and how surprising Liquid could be. For now, though, Liquid actually, they look like they might be in for a bit of trouble, as Taiga is going to be caught. He does have Impale, and he'll find it onto 3 heroes. That should get him out of this one. There's going to be only, of course, the Astral Spirit. They'll even hit him with a little bit of the Eliminate damage on the way out. Liquid, though, finding 3 runes, as it was going to be Mickey winning this 1v1 on the click-off versus Faith Beyond. Sania, yeah, just being a bit cheeky here. He's got Brain Sap, so he knows that he can trade versus Faith Beyond if he needs to, or just hit him with a couple of right clicks on the way out. Boots first for Insania as well.
Get the lanes to a good start. If they can, I think they're in actually a decent position to take over this game. But then we'll have to see LGD going for special tactics to deal with this. Coddle, DU, charging that.
Decent damage as Jinkyu's just going to have to trade versus the Bane. Always a losing trade usually, especially because, what did they buff? Didn't they buff the mana cost? They did buff the mana cost just a little bit, but it goes a long way in the laning stage. 20 less mana, especially for an ability you spam a bit. Doing decently here in this mid lane versus the Pangolier. Decent one for the Pango as you've highlighted, and a bit of skirmishing courtesy of Y down bottom, yeah, especially with the first point in Astral Spirit. He's really starting to chunk Taiga and Boxy alike.
This bottom lane, because of the ET, I guess it's okay for the TB, or it's good enough for the TB. I don't think Boxy is gonna lose once he gets enough levels. He'll be fine, right? But at least in the early levels, you get a okay matchup for Ame. Ame, who also, by the way, because of the Metamorphosis nerfs, should be much weaker in the lane and shouldn't be able to bully Timbersaw low like he used to. I think it's 4-second duration less at every level, which is honestly kind of considerable.
Yeah. It's like 2 or 3 auto, well, a little bit more actually. It's like 8 auto attacks or something like that for a TB. And yeah, that adds up very quickly, especially in the lane when you really need every second you can get to just secure creep waves. Timber as well, had his fair share of nerfs, didn't he? As Taiga's going to be fine. Basically, TD rune for ET. What a hero.
Who got his first share of nerfs?
Timber.
Oh, Timber. Yeah. Timber's mostly to the damage. I don't think it's that major, to be honest. Some people looking at the patch and like, oh, Timber's not going to be played anymore. Timber's still a tankiest hero? Yep. So who cares?
That's fair. I would say, though, oh, Insania might just drop for first blood top lane, but no. Good blocks there by Mickey.
He's just not god like he was before, right? Now he's more balanced, but he's definitely still very playable in the right drafts. I just question if this is the perfect draft for him. I think it's just okay.
I do like the change overall, though, right? I think this change is not so much Ice Frog saying stop playing this hero, but it's more of Ice Frog saying, hey, if you're going to pick Timber into a difficult lane, you shouldn't be able to kill people by also taking Timber Chain. War lane death is what you use to kill, and I think that's fair.
I agree with that, because that was also the case where you're like, oh, Luna beats Timber, and then Timber's like, what if I just take Timber Chain? Luna doesn't beat Timber. Timber beats Luna again.
And that to me was like, really? You know? Yeah. So it's fair points. But yeah,
that was also partially because the 4s that we picked up, especially the Lion, right, really enabled Timber's
they might just... Yeah, he's in trouble.
Koipa just gets the last hit. There we go. First blood. The rotation was good there by Taiga. It was why Liquid. The early game is very element.
Yeah, that was he was just still on the Pangolier. I didn't see actually the first 8th Remnant for a second, but it was just in a really awkward spot for him. Couldn't avoid it. And when the Nyx Assassin came a gank in, he had really nowhere to go. Koipa had set that one up with such with so much time in advance. He had a second 8th Remnant also ready. So that was a really nice catch on the Pangolier. Great gank.
Here's a situation where even though I think Pango does still win this matchup, the issue of course being that you have a mid laner versus a coach who used to play off road, right? There is going to be a bit of skill differential, at least in the lane. And again, not playing Peshava, he's playing well, but it's normal for a guy who usually plays that position to be slightly better than you and getting a bit of an edge. Not too much, but a bit of an edge.
Just a bit, yeah, I think that's fair. They're going to look for a kill, by the way, top lane here onto Jinky. Oh, maybe not, just a little nightmare. As Insania instead is just going to have to continue walking away. More space for Mickey to continue building his CS lead. 26-2, not many denies, but not really being bothered too much here by the Coddle. Whether it's a matchup support versus safe lane or mid laner versus mid laner, TA, one of the better heroes again to deal with the Coddle harassment.
And that's why Mickey has been able to have a really good early game. That's Faith Beyond. Well, we go. Mickey in the sandstorm. Good body block there. They do drop a sentry so they can see Faith, but that's not going to be enough to kill him. However, the rotation from Taiga might turn this around. As he's still in the sandstorm, Taiga walks in. He has Mango for the spike car piss. There's the stun. Faith trying to get away with the burst strike. One last hit for the Bane. That's going to be enough. They get the kill on the enemy offlaner. Liquid up to a decent start in this place.
Yeah, really good stuff. For now, LGD and Liquid alike are totally fine having this bottom lane be a 1v1, as Y is kind of lingering over into the mid lane. Doesn't want to take too much XP though from the coach. So instead, Quakeva, doesn't quite catch him there on that 8th Remnant. It's going to allow Xiaoba to live for now. Okay, he's fine, he's fine. So far, so good, though, I would say, for Liquid. They're going to be pretty happy with this result, as, of course, they do like to draft themselves some strong lanes. They might be even happier if they can get another kill here. On the mid lane, Pangolier, as he uses Swashbuckle aggressively. Good Echo Stomp there. They've woken him up, though, with a shield crash, but it's also giving him 32% damage resist, so he will be fine.
Shinkyu though, chasing up the Quakeva. They missed the Impale. Is the Illuminate going to hit? Yes, it will.
Dire's
Quakeva
courier has been killed.
is going to not be actually, he's going to survive. Shinkyu's not going to get the kill. There's no follow-up. Unfortunately, no stuns, but at least it hits, so that's a win in itself. It's Carlo and goes down bottom to defend.
That's just bum.
Radiant
Tanking up
structures
top,
are
continues to push
fortified.
this lane. Usually tanking not very good at being on the offensive, so the Timbersaw will instead try to do that, and also kill Shinkyu in the process. Can he do so? Chuck him in 1 second. Shinkyu has slowed down with a Solar Bind. The Proxy. Actually, out of mana and no Soul Ring yet, which means he can't continue this
Radiant's
aggression.
bottom tower is under attack.
Shinkyu will get out of this one alive. He knows he also has maxed Illuminate anyway, or maxed Illuminate 3 points at least. So he can continue to de-push this lane, and Timbersaw won't be able to get the free tower. Instead, in the top lane, they kill off Faith Beyond with a nice rotation from the Void Spirit.
Yeah, that one looked pretty good there as they continue to defend top lane. Mid lane, we
Radiant's
might
top
skirmish a
tower
bit
is
as
under
Liquid have
attack.
a pretty aggressive ward over the triangle. Y's a bit too fast though with the Astral Spear buff and the brown boots. So Liquid would have to look elsewhere, pardon me, for a kill.
He finds the ET. Chava, going for Mickey. We do have the Rolling Thunder. And Mickey, staying near the cliff so he can be pushed up one, but he's not. He's instead in the pinball zone. They're going to take advantage of this. Episode been committed for this. Together with the stomp, Heavy will kill off Mickey as Quakeva trying to finish off Faith Beyond. The director as well, running for his life. He's not fast enough. Bane will get the last hit. Try to give it to Quakeva instead. Won't be able to, but they did get 2 kills off for this, so LG very happy with this engagement.
Yeah, very happy indeed. They get a kill onto the safe lane TA, especially here onto the mid-Pango. He does end up falling for that one. Quakeva with a very nicely timed Dissemblade as well to avoid a lot of that Swashbuckle damage. And with Orb of Corrosion online as well for the Pangolier and level 3 Swashbuckle, not to mention, it's a lot of damage he actually avoids. It's a lot of space though for Ame, who's kind of just farmed the enemy triangle, now with his level 2 Metamorphosis. Conjure Image is already maxed, and of course with a Coddle, that means the illusion spam and the ghost pushing is just about to begin. Jin Q, speaking of de-pushing, going for the 1 null talisman here, already has one available, is going to continue and push Boxy away from just taking this tower for free, as they will find Insania in his own
Radiant's
jungle.
top tower is under attack.
Looking to try and contest a stolen stack, but Faith Beyond is going to end up with most of those last hits.
So the Bane dies there. I don't think it's that big a deal because I think Liquid was hoping to get much more on this early. You see a kill off top as well. Okay, at least they kill Y.
Faith Beyond stealing stacks though. This is the 2nd stack he's now stolen.
Jabba. Okay, we have no feed script. Never mind. Brain Saddler. Get out of here, Pango. I will eat your brains.
Well, there's...
Well, he did. He's scared. He trained for many years to be a good coach. What if he loses intelligence now?
Radiant's
What is
bottom tower
Quakeva?
is
Oh
under
my god,
attack.
Quakeva trying to go for the surprise sneak kill there.
They're hunting the Coddle down bottom, by the way. Jin Q. I think they should have him dead to rights here. Oh, Taiga, very eager. Oh, actually did not get the
Dire's
Spike
middle
Carapace off there
tower
in
is under
time.
attack.
So Jin Q is going to be allowed to live, and he clears the wave. So Box is going to have to go and
Radiant's top
find another
tower is
creep
under
wave to help
attack.
him push down this tier 1 tower.
Really? No, sort of. Coming.
Good. lead for LGD, but they haven't been able to take the towers, so Liquid have control. We haven't seen the TA come online. I think for the Timber Saw, it's a win in itself that the Coddle has managed to stop Boxy from pushing this hard, to be honest. They've actually given enough time for TB to actually go rotate top, and him put the push that Sanking can't. Sanking is more of a defensive offlaner rather than an offensive one.
Radiant's
I think Boxy,
bottom
maybe
tower
this is finally
under
the
attack.
moment where he actually takes this down.
Dire's top tower
Looks like
is
it.
under
The Coddle
attack.
not too close by.
He's hitting it.
He
That's how
is.
you know that that's what he is. Please go
Radiant's
down. The
bottom
Coddle's
tower
finally
is
gone.
falling.
He's
And
coming
coming
back.
as well.
Yeah, he's coming back. He has 2 null talismans already. Someone tell this guy he's not a mid laner. Jin Q,
Dire's
he's
top
farming.
tower is
Not
under
quite like the
attack.
position 5 would. There's the 3rd null talisman,
Dire
along
are
with the
scanning.
tranquils. So that should be his last one before he goes for the Dagon. But he'll continue farming that one at a very nice pace. And speaking of farming, Fifth Beyond as well, especially after stealing 2 stacks, finds himself with a very healthy amount of farm. In fact, even beating his coach. So that is, well, not anymore after he clears the mid wave. But he's really close to the Blink
Dire's
Dagger is the point I was going to make.
middle tower is
150
under
gold away. If they can find a kill off of this smoke, they would have that Blink instantly. Boxy's going to be a bit of a hard target, especially with only level 2 Burrow Strike, but we'll see what they can get done.
Dire's middle tower is under
Boxy
attack.
just covers so many TPs going for him. They set up, they throw the blinding light to send him back, and into the epicenter he goes. And even committing the Earth Splitter, because they wanted to make sure that Boxy died here. Metamorphosis in case Koiva had any crazy ideas, and Koiva almost got caught in the pitfall zone, but just a bit
Radiant's top
too
tower is
late,
under
or a
attack.
bit too early, I guess, and it's simulate there.
Yep. Good stuff from PSG.LGD. They'll defend their top tower. They do bring all 5 heroes on over for that, but they're also simultaneously not only defend the tower, but they defend Ame, who's continuing to farm stacks. And, well, you know, a new patch, sure, but same TB, as he's got the Dragonlance completed, heading next into the Yasha. So he's going to continue farming. It's the same TV we all know and love. First Vendetta from Taiga. Well, it'll give him a DD rune at least. No, Faith Beyond's actually going to be able to stun him and put it into his bottle before the next assassin can get his many, many claws on it.
Radiant's
Boxy
bottom
finds
tower
himself
is under
slept
attack.
here. As Ame just farms a couple of creeps around the sleeping Timber Saw. Careful though, Taiga's nearby. There's a sentry to scout him, as there's a nice stun. Ame though, yeah, he's going to go ahead and just use the Sunder preemptively onto Taiga, and that'll stop Liquid from looking
Radiant's
for the kill.
bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Lead trying to turn into 2K. One with a Boxy kill. Oh no. Yeah. Deciding to let him go. He did max he was maxing the shield crash, but decided to end up going for the swashbuckler. He's gonna go for what he always does, by the way, which is I'm playing offlane from the mid lane. I'm gonna be another space creator. No Maelstrom, any shenanigans, just Blink Dagger straight up.
Blink Yules was always the Chinese way of building a Pangolier in the off lane specifically, just going for that max lockdown and utility. So we'll see if Zhao decides to go for that build as well here, despite playing the mid lane. Well, standing in for the mid lane, right? Doing a good job so far, though, keeping up in terms of his farm. And speaking of farm, no one really no one farming quite like Mikke is, except for really the TP. And I think that's why PSG.LGD have put so many resources, so much time of their heroes to make sure that they defend this top tier 1 tower, just making sure that TB can farm as much as possible. But now they will go for an excursion into the enemy triangle. They're going to miss the stun, and that means Mikke, although he does take half damage from the Earth Splitter, is going to be fine for now. Mikke just gets Y killed off as Boxy looking for any backliners. This Coddle, Jin Q, he's not going anywhere. Blinding Light's going to hit, but it's going to miss Koikva. It's down bottom. Faith Beyond continue to be chased down. They missed the Timber Chain, so he's going to be able to blink away and TP on home. But a very costly expedition, that one, as Liquid defend the TA.
Yeah, and without TV somewhat joined as well, not
Dire's
ideal for me because you
turret has
kind of
been
lost a lot of
killed.
farming time, so you can't even say that kind of
Dire's
space for you.
top tower is under attack.
Or why do we not really making it there? I feel like you don't really want to give these chances for Liquid to come back because they will hold on to whatever you give them and really break the efficiency off it. Like this is a team that's known for their early game. They are meant to snowball now. They haven't accomplished it, but they're still looking for that opportunity to snowball. So even though these are just support kills, you have to continue to put the pressure onto Liquid so they fall apart. Otherwise, they will just regain what they lost early.
There you go, Liquid.
Especially now that Mikke is online.
They're smoking up now, looking to try and nip PSG.LGD in the butt. They will be successful here, Ava.
top tower is under attack.
Looks like Pangolier, wow, they even go so far as to commit the Fiend's Grip. I believe first Fiend's Grip of the game for him. They also stun up Y with the Astral Spirits. Quakefa though, they might make a jump onto him with the Solar Vine now out. Faith Beyond gonna go for the Epicenter play. He's canceled it though. That did force out the Dissemblate from Quakefa. Stop here is gonna find Insania. Faith Beyond with another Blink and Burrow Strike in 2 seconds. And hold off on initiating though. Pan goes back in 10. Faith Beyond. This time he actually let the ultimate go. Taiga right underneath the Sentry, saved momentarily here by the Nightmare. Does manage to get off the stun thanks to the Spike Carapace, but he's cleaned up by Jin Q. As now the rest of LGD continue to look for kills. Quakefa a little bit too elusive though with the Astral Step, is going to be able to escape. And with Ame presence and popping that level 4 Metamorphosis, Liquid not too eager to join this fight.
Meanwhile, Boxy's trying once again to push this tower mid. The coach trying to defend it. Come team, come! And in fact they all do. He charges the Rolling Thunder, Burrow Strike as well.
Quakefa's out of mana.
Find the poor voice for out of mana. Quakefa's going to die. What happened when your captain or your coach is mid? You cannot disobey his rules. He is never wrong. He is the one leading this charge, and that's exactly what they'll do as they push mid. The right call as well here, honestly. Barney jokes you might make on a Burrow Strike. With Rolling Thunder, Earth Splitter though. And I'm in trouble. No, Thunder just in time. Now with that stop, they need something to follow up. They don't have it. Just an Illuminate, which actually will kill off the Phoenix Assassin, but not enough to finish off Mickey. If not Y, might die as well. Going to chalk him. Y, too strong. Mickey falls in the back lines. Quakefa buys back because he needs to fight this. They can't let them get away with this. They haven't lost a single hero. And finally, Faith Beyond will die. And this is for Insania, though, who saves himself from the illusions, but not from the stomp. And that's going to be PSG.LGD taking down, what, 4 in total, because they even forced the buyback there. And losing an off-laner.
Yeah.
The fact that Y is alive there is criminal for LGD.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, Boxy getting juked a little. I mean, it's hard to hit it onto very fast heroes, and ET with the Astral Spirit buff especially quite fast, thanks to the Tranquils as well as the Windlay. So yeah, he was out of there. Just barely able to escape. Really, really nice fight from PSG.LGD. As you say, that was the perfect call for them to make. I think there's a reason, right, why Jabba's their coach. He goes, guys, come mid. We can defend the tower. We can also push with whatever we have left of meta. If we fight them, we're very strong. And well,
I don't think.
Would you look at that? It's exactly what happened.
I don't think that's how the reasoning works. From what I heard before I got signed Animator, the coaches in China tend to have much more authority than that. So it's more like mid now. Okay, sure. Yep. He's taking out the you know that thing they always see that is like something to hit people on the head with, like it's made out of paper. It's like a fan or something. Anyway, they're gonna find the TA here. We do have the Metamorphosis. Mickey is slowly dying. Faith Beyond charging the Epicenter. We end up Blink Dagger. We still have Thunder Lover on Ame, so it should be fine. However, his sinking will not be. Papa team's getting killed off. Come out in time. Another pinball zone for Quakefa, and that's a dieback for him now. Swashbuckle also catches Insane there. He's going to fall. Taiga had Spike Carpus, so if anything, that's gonna hurt Coddle. Yep. However, getting the kill, I think, on Quakefa is worth any sort of commitment there. Careful, Boxy, before Amel.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there for Liquid, but again, PSG.LGD, they just playing very nicely around the cooldowns, which of course reduced greatly thanks to this Coddle. Shinkyu just falling around Dame, making sure to spam Chakra Magic on him to make sure that he's able to pop meta as much as he has been able to. With SNY and Dragonlance now, he is very active in these early skirmishes, and I don't think Liquid are quite ready for fighting versus the team yet.
Epicenter charge, and it just goes straight from Boxy. Here's put it on top of this, and they just catch Taiga by accident here. Spike Carpus though to return some of that damage. Faith, his timing might have gone a bit too far. Shoba misses the swashbuckle, it's fine. He falls on Taiga. Another Spike Carpus. Is he gonna commit for this? He still has the haste rune. Rolling Thunder in 3, but there's no TB this time. There's no meta anyway, so he shouldn't be here. This is one of those plays where you maybe go, can we get away with this? And the moment you realize that you're not getting that kill, just back out. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Liquid, by the way, decided to put a Tinker Ward down bottom next to the tier 2 tower, because the reason I moved my camera here to show you the ghost pushing is this is exactly what happens. Like, I don't think there's really ever a scenario where LGD are farming under that ward, is they're going to find Insania top lane. He's going to Nightmare up the Coddle, but he's still going to die to the Illuminate Blast regardless.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, that's kind of Insania's role this game.
Okay.
I say that, there's the only easy way they have of stunning him, and then he's not making. Who is now stuck. He's they don't have the last bump yet, so he should be able to get away for a second before the stomp hits and dive again.
Okay, that's a major death for him there. 13 to 10 now, 20 minutes in. Java's been sitting on enough money for the shard for a while, and he's actually bought a basher. I was wondering if he was going to go straight Yules or if he was just going to save the money, but he had like 3,000 gold, and with just the Aghanim shard queued up, so he has decided to go into the basher. So a little bit more utility then, a little bit more of a carry build, sorry, on this Pangolier. And my goodness, Jinkyu, man, he can really farm on this Coddle. He's out farming his offlane Sand King, by the way, as he's finished up the Ag Scepter right at 20 minutes.
No, not bad at all. Do you have any good ways of breaking this Will-O-Wisp? Probably not, actually, because TA is not a hero that you want to sit and hit things. Neither does Void Spirit. I guess Timbersaw.
Yeah, but then he can't throw Chakram, right?
No, I know. I'm
yeah. Oh.
It's up to the Bane, the Nyx, and the Timbersaw. If they all combine their might and they all hit the Wisp at the same time, they might be able to break it before it completes.
Alright, so they do have themselves a smoke gank coming through the lane now from LGD there. It's going to be the Ag Scepter reveal. Timberchain though still pulls Boxy on through, and that's going to be a miss.
A tower will
Dire's
fall
middle tower is under
to
attack.
TB eventually. I mean, the fact that you can actually push the mid-tier 2 earliest, usually you go for the side lanes, right? Because they're easiest to push. There's not much, they can't really
Dire's
contest
middle
you.
tower
Particularly
has
top is
fallen.
the easiest one, especially if you're playing on Radiant. But this time they're given so much leeway, they feel like they can go for the most valuable objective as opposed to the safest ones. They really haven't felt, like Liquid haven't felt in control of the game at any moment, unfortunately. And I don't think the draft is supposed to be in that position.
I restore my connection.
Well, what did you say earlier about Liquid's draft, right? You just have to keep winning, I believe, or was that the Tundra game? Oh, hold on. Okay.
I almost did that again. That's right, he was a roll, but you stun them, instead he's gonna get stunned. Will-O-Wisp in the middle, but he's already dead. What do we do now? Our coach is dead, he can't talk anymore. Faith Beyond is gonna burn strike away. They do hit him away when he gets hurt though. So Faith might still die here. One last Burrow Strike, the stomp on top of this. Okay, no TB needed for this fight, so at least a bit of space created for him, and they get away somewhat. If we lose Roach though, this would be good Liquid.
Yeah, it's difficult though. I mean, not Coddle actually is great at roach control, but so is the ET. Got a lot of great roach control. The Director's still dead for 15 seconds, and you know, unfortunately, I find, at least in my experience, that dead heroes usually talk the most. And I assume LGD get a bit of the Director's commentary themselves. Now it's a beautiful stun on Faith Beyond, quick but dead immediately, caught by the Will-O-Wisp and the Burrow Strike. Down he will go. The stun to follow up is going to pull Mickey back in as it swoops up for the kill onto Insania. Mickey popping the BKB, trying to fight as Ame has Metamorphosis. He's not even going to need it for the kill though onto the safe lane TA. There's the stun to find Boxy, and it's going to be a full team wipe here as Liquid try and get through Roshan, but are immediately punished by LGD.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That was a good attempt of a shot. That was Liquid going, we need to do something right now, the game gets out of hand, and it did something which helped the game get out of hand instead. I understand the inspiration behind this attempt, but because Ame rotated appropriately, and also because the team fighting LG is just much more superior, it didn't seem like Liquid really stood a chance there.
Is under attack.
Honestly, that attempt to go into the high ground was so crazy to begin with.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, I don't know if staying in Roshan was better, if I'm honest with you, but I don't know. I don't think high ground was the right choice.
These choke points, actually, I was looking around the map because there were a couple iterations of maps in Dota 2. I don't remember the patch numbers exactly, but usually there's one or two really bad choke points in Dota 2 maps on each side, right? So we're looking at this choke point specifically for the Dire Staircase, where you have to go up 2 cliffs, and then this one as well here. Both secret shops actually have terrible positioning if you're going to be pushing up high ground, because enemies can be waiting here on the high ground. There's a ward spot right here. There's a tier 1 tower to rotate to. It's a bad spot to be pushing if you don't have vision, or if you don't, you know, have the total confidence in items and BKBs and whatnot. Very surprised to see Liquid push up like that, especially when they know that Jin-Q has Ags already. But there's so much AoE control. I agree, right? I don't know if I'd necessarily wanted to be fighting around Roche either with all this AoE, but those spots are so bad to fight into if you don't have vision.
You ever question why now the games are going around farming ancients and the whole idea of whoever farms ancient fastest wins? That's why. Because honestly, going and being aggressive towards the enemy triangle, regardless if it's dire or rated, it's just really difficult. These choke points are harder, these ward spots are stronger. It leads to this kind of playstyle. It's this or Zoo, really. It's just kind of, there's no in between, really.
Beyond with the shard, he's going to find Taiga here, who gets bashed up, put to bed, and sent back to the fountain. Really good reactions there by Faith Beyond to recognize that this shard not only triggers when there are enemies nearby, I guess as well if they're invisible. Today I learned. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought it wouldn't trigger if you didn't know the enemy was there,
Radiant's
but I guess.
top tower is under attack.
I mean, this shard now has
Radiant's
a
top
utility I never
tower
really
has
thought of, huh?
fallen.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Dire's bottom tower
Couldn't get
is under
the
attack.
spike
Dire's
carapace off
bottom
in time
tower
either,
has
because I
fallen.
mean, I don't even know, to be honest, if Taiga was
Radiant's
expecting
top
that.
tower is under attack.
It's the shard was considered crap. Jenkins made that one video and everyone's like, alright, who's gonna buy the shard? Well, Jenkins was wrong. So, he was.
Dire's
They're
bottom
pushing down
tower is
bottom
under
with just the
attack.
TB, it seems like, not
Dire's
just the
bottom
illusions.
tower
And that's
has
gonna take the
fallen.
tower, actually. TB was just there in the beginning.
Liquid trying to set a trap up top lane. They have Insania nearby. Here comes the Sand King, though. Xiaoba, the only one showing for now, but LGD, they know. They know that there are more heroes here that meets the eye. And Liquid, yeah, they want nothing to do with this. They will be backing up. Insania's sticking around still. He has a TP scroll. In fact, he's got 4 of
Dire's
them.
bottom tower is under
No
attack.
shortage of them to use.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But with himself here, I don't think we're going to see any Bane solo kills here anytime soon.
I like how this one
Who just bought a Shadow? Who bought a Silver Edge? Who was that?
It must have been the TA?
TB bought a Silver Edge.
Oh. Can I say it?
Yeah.
The Ector build.
You're right, actually. It is.
Yes, it is.
You're actually...
The Ector was just 16 metas too early. That's the reality. No, well, maybe I catch up to the mix. Breathing, Shaban turns around, and they can't kill the voice split just yet. Yokta will save him. They're coming up to the epicenter. Faith Beyond decides against it. Again, considering the issue.
Okay, he's getting junked.
They don't want to go too far in. The TV's doing too much damage. Now it's finally empty. Mickey is dead. As Taiga also falls to get box here. Liquid tries to get the enemy team from running them down, but it's impossible. The GG is called as quite but dies. Liquid, sorry, LGD will take game number 1.
Yeah. Jamba stealing the rampage from Ame. Says, know your place. This one is not yours. LGD will take game number 1 off the back of a very, very impressive performance. Really, it was a team performance, wasn't it? I feel like everyone in LGD really just played.
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
Camp ESL 1. LGD dominant game number 1 over Team Liquid. Our second draft about to get underway, folks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in onto the B stream for what is going to be my last game of the day, as Bowie will be stepping in next alongside Abo for our final series. What is our final series, by the way? Just to give a little bit
SG versus Empire.
SG Esports versus Empire. That one ought to be incredibly fun as well, especially with some insights from Bowie for the Brazilian team.
Yes. But we're right now watching Team Liquid versus LGD. And getting into game number 2, I'm hoping to see a better game from Liquid. I don't really care if they win or not, but honestly, last game was not really much of a... It was just LGD kind of dominating the whole game. I think Liquid has 2 options here. Option 1 would be to stick to their guns and try the same idea again. An early tempo controlling draft. that just they execute better, or they try to execute LGD. I think that's a tall order, but depending on their level of confidence or how much they want to practice this, it might be better. And their second option would be to try to play a more mid-game oriented draft, which gives you more leeway, maybe a harder carry, or something to permabuff your carry like they do with Magnus sometimes, and that would help have a bit more leeway in terms of the mistakes they can make and how well they have to play the game.
10
So
seconds.
I always feel like Liquid is the team that has, like, they're not arrogant. They just have a lot of trust in themselves, and they try to play like the perfect game every single time, right? They try to play like really, really good Dota, and I don't know if they feel bad about themselves sometimes when this happens. Honestly, like I don't know if they sometimes. I don't even mean in flame. I don't know if they feel like down when their drafts don't work. Because I honestly have not seen a team that tries as hard as they do when it comes to these drafts. Like they actually try drafts that are so complicated to execute, and you go, oh, I see where you're going. Almost like they don't want to try their bread and butter, like the Mars Willow, for example, or the Willow Slaughter they used to run, right? And sometimes they go, oh, we'll try this really great idea. It doesn't work out, and I just hope they don't feel down on themselves.
Okay. Well, I'd hope so as well. I'd hope so as well as Liquid. Well, this could be their fourth match of the group stage here over in Group B. And, well, regrettably, as they've lost the first game here of the Best of 2 series, they will still find themselves without a full 2-0 win. But if there's anything Liquid has been doing consistently this, it's been looking for a draw. And let's see if they can get that draw as we get underway for game number 2 of our draft. Hey, that's not flame. They've been won once across the group stage. That's going to get you through into the playoffs, you know? That'll get you into playoffs.
That's true, actually.
So,
I mean, Liquid always at least win one game because they are unpredictable, they're strong, and if they get the right opening, they're so good, right? I just need to ban the right drafts. I think LGD don't have the right idea against them. Immediately Trim Protector. That's the anti-Liquid hero. And you go for the Lesh as well. Good deep pusher, got some good buffs, honestly, last patch. Unnecessary, in my opinion. Much like Pango's buffs, which were unnecessary. And also a good booster travel user, so he can actually deep push a lot of lanes, prevent split pushing. And if they give it to Shalba, he is... I mean, he's not going to have to work too hard. It's a flesh rack. You run around, you pull Snova. That's what you do.
Yeah, true. I will say, though, depending on where this Pangolier is going to lane, because I think for an off-laner, personally going for a Mage Slayer, as cheap as it is, might be a little bit too greedy, is going to do nice versus a Lesh, right? It tanks you up a bit more, because although the Edict is no longer magic, the Mage Slayer is going to, of course, help you versus Pulse Nova, to help you versus Lightning Storm, and Mage Slayer does not discriminate when it comes to reducing the type of damage. It reduces all type of damage, but of course the passive component for yourself is only going to help you versus magic. So maybe we can see it here as Liquid will go back to the Void Spirits. Last time it was for Quakeva. This time around we can flex it with the Pangolier between mid and off. So I'm liking this from Liquid. Shall see, though, as we get into the second banning phase. So far, probably I would expect Avo to see tons of carries get banned here in this phase for LGD and Liquid alike. I think we're going to likely get rid of our Slark, get rid of... both teams. I probably want to get rid of the DOTA.
Slark, ban twice if possible.
Ban Slark 6 times if you can. Just delete him from the game, really.
Turn to ban.
Can you imagine if teams could do it where they ban a hero enough, that means the hero is out of the tournament? Like, you can't play in the group stages.
You ban a hero 7 times in a row. You ban him once and then you let your reserve time go through, because, I mean, this is a free shot at Liquid. But as Liquid will know, if you run out of reserve time, you do not ban, but you will random a pick. But you don't random a ban. You just don't ban.
They didn't do that. You're thinking of the wrong team. They misclicked.
No, they ran out of they ran out of reserve time, right? When they were banning.
Yeah, and they misclicked because they were nervous, so they misclicked and they picked a hero they didn't need to pick.
No, but they just didn't ban. They meant to ban the gyro. Remember? Oh,
right. Sorry, I get what you mean. Sorry,
yeah,
right,
so they meant to ban gyro. It was a misclick, but that they just went down to the wire on it. And once you run out of reserve time, exactly. Yeah. They meant to click, but just a bit earlier. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's.
I feel like they need to live that down. No,
I'm sure they have by this stage. I'm sure they have. I mean,
no, I'm sure they're not bothered by this, but it's not what I remember them for. I like the Bloodseeker ban, by the way, pretty good. They're protecting the Pango right now. Probably a lot of. Love given to this hero. I would like to see Boxy Void Spirit again, if I'm honest with you. I actually missed that a lot. Liquid was the only team that was not Eastern European that thought Void Spirit's an off-laner, obviously. And I'm still waiting to see that. I think Mage Slayer Void Spirit's legit.
Is Creepwave Eastern European? Because Amar would also...
ESL.LGD's turn
Creep
to
Wave's kind of
ban.
just European general.
Are they? I guess they're half-half, right? They're just European.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I agree with you. And again, that comes back to my point. I don't know, Mage Slayer on an offlaner, especially if you know, if the Pango is then going to go mid, feels like why don't you just pick up the Mage Slayer on him then? A great item versus the Lash. Do we really need 2 Mage Slayers?
Because the Mage Slayer on Pango is just not that good, because all these stats that it gives you besides the magic are just not... Like, it gives you regen, so it's okay in some situations. I think Void Spirit, though, the stats are legitimate on it.
Okay, that's a fair
Especially
point.
because Pango doesn't tend to tank afterwards. You know, like, you go Echo Saber because you want the mono regen, but you want the offensive potential of Echo Saber, that tops a build, right? Whereas for Void Spirit, you want to actually tank. It's very often to go for Kai and Sanj. You can go for that build, and then you can go Kai and Sanj into Ags, ignore the Yules, and I'm just saying, I'd like to see that.
PSG.LGD's
All right,
turn
I think
to
it's
pick.
Probably not going to happen.
Couple of
Good Spectre ban, actually.
you know, it's surprisingly quite, to me anyway. Yeah, good Spectre ban indeed. The Slark makes it on through. There's a Skywrath Mage for PSG.LGD. I think they played this yesterday too, didn't they? I recall seeing a couple of Skywrath games when I was just watching the streams. But that is going to be a particularly strong pick versus the Void Spirit.
10 seconds remaining.
Here's some story time.
Okay.
This is the LGD special, actually.
Is it?
They're awesome.
remaining.
They were the ones who, in the major, everyone's like, oh, Tiny's useless. Like, Mago's like, what are you talking about? But for the most part, they were like, Tiny's useless. You can only pick him with Ancient Apparition, because without Ancient Apparition, you don't have enough burst, right? And LGD, they have Ancient Apparition banned, and they wanted to play a Tiny combo, and they're like, what if we combine him with Skywrath Mage? With the same purpose. You gank with Tiny, you add the extra damage he's missing, and you buff his damage as well with the Ancient Seal. And it worked wonders. And they're one of the teams that actually have brought the idea of the Skywrath Mage back into the meta, at least in a competitive sense, right? I know in pubs people experiment and everything, but in the competitive sense, they've thought of this. And I actually love this. I love watching it. I love telling the story. I think it's really, really good against Void Spirit, so good pick.
And some tiny, tiny buffs to the Skywrath Mage. I think the biggest one being that Mystic Flare duration was reduced by like 0.3 seconds with the same amount of damage. So that means the DPS slightly increased, which is always going to go a long way towards killing squishy int heroes in particular, like a Void Spirit. Oh, a Pudge. Not the hero I was expecting necessarily. Pudge nerfs. Pudge
They got
nerfs.
a Pudge carry from LGD. And
Oh, yeah, true. I forgot they were doing that during I-League, right?
yeah. And they're like, well, we gotta try this. I mean, I'm assuming this
10
Pudge...
seconds remaining.
I'm assuming he's a 4. I know people are raving about Pudge Core being back on because you can farm with hooks, but it's not really that great. I feel like Pudge 4 is really where it stands. Because you can kind of Mirana it, right? Where you find farm intermittently between ganks.
Don't you use that word with me. Don't use Morana as a verb.
This guy's a big Mirana hater. Okay, though, good. Yeah. Pudge with Crystal Maiden, and I'm assuming Pango and Void Spirit are both cores. Because then, or Pudge offlane, that's also fine. Because then Pudge is a really good save here. He's great against Skywrath Mage, great against Leshrac for these both saves. Putting Leshrac out of position hurts him a lot. He's really good at hunting Tree Protector. I can't believe I'm praising a Pudge, but this is a good Pudge pick.
5 seconds
I wonder if
remaining.
this is going to be a Pudge Blade Mail game as well, because I think he is a Blade Mail builder. Quite tanky, magic resist as well, right? But that'll go a long way towards hurting both Skywrath and Lesh, as you say. Very, very tanky frontliner to protect this Maiden pick as well, so she can be free to cast her spells.
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
There's a Slardar pick then. Okay, for PSG.LGD. I wonder if this is
We
possibly...
heard that was the Liquid special.
It kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah. So they picked him.
I'm also
seconds
kind of
remaining.
imagining this is maybe to make sure that they can get a Slardar in, because this is
5
looking like a
seconds
pretty
remaining.
decent AM game for Liquid if they decided to run it. It would force Koifa mid and Pudge off, but
LGD's
just
turn to
immediately picking up
ban.
the Slardar, so Liquid rather don't have the opportunity to ban it. Plus, of course, with last pick your carry, but...
Okay. I like that idea. I don't disagree with that. I think if I was them, though, I would just
10
ban it
seconds
because I still have the last
remaining.
banning phase, right? That's my thought process. I'm gonna
5
go a bit outside the box and think
remaining.
that honestly, I would love to see a Slardar carry this game because Pudge save doesn't really help because Sora can just chase endlessly after you as a carry, of course, right? Pudge actually has really low armor even with the changes. Void Spirit also not the greatest
Team
armor, even with the
Liquid's turn
shield he
to
gets
ban.
destroyed by Slardar. You already have a solid win condition of Lesh that pushes towers. You have a really strong lane with Tree Protector Slardar to actually go and dive. And Skywrath Mage also gives you a strong lane whichever offlane you
turn to
have.
ban.
I would love to see a Slardar carry back into the meta. I actually think that's kind of legitimate. But I think I'm just dreaming. I'm just gonna put it out there because if it happens, I'll be really happy.
I don't know though. I don't know because I think it was more viable before when he did have that 20 attack damage. Oh, sorry, this is not attack speed. Never mind. I'm misreading the patch notes. Pardon me. Okay, I see your points there. I see your points, and I think they're fair.
Sniper.
What the heck? A sniper pick? What is Liquid? Liquid were just like, we'll pick normal.
Oh, okay.
Their picks just got wackier and wackier as the draft progressed. Not a bad pick though, to be honest. Slaughter is scary though for a sniper. Slaughter is definitely spooky.
So
10 seconds remaining.
yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, Slaughter offlane. I mean, Slaughter carry is pretty strong
5
against them, but
seconds
Slaughter offlane,
remaining.
yes. I think the lane's gonna be really bad though for Slaughter now. Yeah, Sniper should be able to win this lane relatively easily, so it's kind of scary. I wonder what LGD is going to do. I'll talk about the Sniper in a second, but I'm just questioning. Like, if you want to carry here against Sniper, they can close the gap. Obviously, it took away Slark. That was the biggest one. I mean, you could Sven and like try to rush the Blink Dagger. I feel like Pudge just stops you.
Yeah, that was.
You may now select your hero.
Okay, so it is a Slaughter
Stop
carry.
it, Slaughter carry.
Yeah. No. Night Stalker
it's
carry.
Night Stalker carry.
Wow.
I was really excited. All right. I mean, I think this is fine. Night Stalker's really good at marching the Sniper. So I want to talk about the Sniper for a second. Sniper made it, actually. I have a good friend of mine, and it's Pudge carry. I can't believe Team Liquid actually took that from LG. Okay. I have a good friend of mine. His name is Flapjack. He's a well-known analyst, like AK, played competitive, etc., etc. And he saw the patch notes, and we actually have a fight about this because he was like, "Sniper's gonna be the new meta." He was so convinced. Sniper's so strong. The new passive or active of the passive, right, which now gives you like perma sharpshooter essentially, makes you one of the highest DPS heroes if once you activate that. Like for the seconds that's on. Nothing can get to you, nothing can stop you, nothing can kill you. You're like Drow on steroids, honestly, right? The question is it that useful because you only have it for 5 seconds? Drow has it perpetually, why bother? But it's not crazy. Some MMR pros have talked about it. I'm really excited about the Sniper. I think LGD did draft well against it though. I think Night Stalker is a really good choice against it. Night Stalker carry is still good, actually better than before, and I think he's awesome against Sniper. But the Pudge might be a problem.
You're talking about the True Strike sorry, not True Strike, sorry. You're talking about the Take Aim active, right?
Take Aim active, which now gives you a 100% headshot chance when you hit it.
Yes.
Plus other actives, but it's really about the 100% headshot chance. That's big. It used to be 80%, which seems really good, but 100% is insane. Yeah. That means every hit is a headshot. It's a massive increase to your survivability because you also lose movement speed. Though that got buffed a bit, you lose less. And the idea is that nothing can come close to you, which is why I think they needed something quick like Night Stalker to make this work.
Prepare
I could see that.
for
I could see that. I think that makes a lot of sense as well. 3-second active duration though, 11-second downtime here for the Sniper, down from 4 of last patch. So they did buff that headshot from 70 to 100%. So it could be good. Of course, if you are a fan of this slasher way of Dota 2, then you'll know, of course, about the satanic build here for the Snipers. We shall see here what the mid lane sniper for Koikva decides to go into. And tell me, Avo, I think we were doing closed qualifiers for this event when LGD, pardon me, were picking safe lane Pudge. What is this all about here? What's the thought process behind the safe lane Pudge?
I mean, I've similarly only been able to check out the replays, right, somewhat, but the thought process behind it is it's actually not exclusive to LGD. They've done it before. The first team to actually do this competitively, and I will always praise this team, very happy to be able to say this, was SG. SG, not this one, previous iteration, ADR used to be playing their carry, and he used to play Pudge safe lane to pretty good success, right? The idea is you infinitely scale, you have a great tempo for obvious reasons, right? And you actually farm relatively quickly, I guess now more even so, with the rot, obviously. So you built like I'd say it would be similar to how I guess a Bristleback would play, but with more damage.
Sorry guys, I know we probably lost this game, but we can still do this.
Initiation potential.
Sorry, Mika just throwing out the hook and spamming a voice line just because he can. Okay. I was wondering if he was going to try and hook the room, but he found a Slaughter instead.
Yeah. Sometimes the fish just goes to the hook, right? Mm-hmm. He is drawn to it. It's like that scene in Finding Nemo. Oh, I want to touch it.
True, very true. Especially with a nice little hook cosmetic here. Mika is rocking. All right, Pudge, maiden support. This is the very classic lane combo, isn't it?
I wonder if they're gonna play like LGD did, by the way. I mean, maybe they have a different idea for it. I don't know. Like that? Oh. They almost got the kill, but why? Oh, why do he's lost? They might be able to get the kill here. What does an impulse? No, he did no damage.
Yep. Brown boots
Also,
here.
I'm very happy to see Boxy on offlane point spread again. This is a treat. You guys are gonna love this. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Take aim already learned here for Sniper. Again, slightly changed as he's just bouncing between the two kind of passives for now. One of them is got a passive with an active, but you know, just looking for the range to be able to outrange the Lesh a little bit more and not get consistently caught here by his split earths.
No, it also makes it impossible for them to trade against you. Like, seriously, look at what Quick was doing. This is the right play. Quickva, he's actually theorizing properly with a sniper. You attack him so much with a take aim, and you play him like you used to play the sniper who went like triple Wraith Ban and ganked. By the way, top lane, Ame in trouble. Nature Scrap is saving him. No way Ame's gonna get away with his life here. They actually are even trying to bait out the Pango to get the kill here, but lacking the damage for it.
Yeah, and then with shield crash as well. Level 1 on the support, position 4 Pangolier. He's going to be a bit hard pressed to be able to close the gap and actually find that one. Yeah, Xiaoba, pardon me, getting really harassed. Take aim as well, 25 mana cost here for a sniper. Usually, sniper can struggle if he goes for the shrapnel build, but he's not going to be struggling much now that he's got Arcane Aura to boost his harass. Speaking of Arcane Aura, that's a nice one for Pudge as well, isn't it? They did make Hook more expensive.
Xiaoba hating his life. He hates to face a sniper of all things. It's not even, you have played like what, 10, 12 competitive matches, and in one of them you have to face a sniper in a meta where he's not even back. That must be pain.
Oh, who knows? Maybe Flamjack's gonna be right. Maybe he'll be back. I think the last big sniper patch we had was what, 6.83 when shrapnel hit buildings, and then there was like a brief apparition of sniper with Ags as position 4 before that got nerfed when it had like a 2-second stun on the assassinate. But,
yeah, actually, that was kind of legitimate, though. I love that sniper. Yeah. I used to play that as an offlane. Oh, I'm going to try to get Y. Taiga. Y is very slow. Trees are not so good with motion, you know?
Yeah, especially because
Taiga's going to be able to chase him down with Mango. Actually, so Taiga will get the first blood.
So much mud.
Yeah, I believe they actually nerfed his move speed, his being the Dream Protectors, by 5, didn't they?
To the
ever so slightly, yeah. And for the beginning of the patch, for some reason there was a bug where they also took away his passive, and you wouldn't get movement speed in trees.
Good. That passive's bonkers. You just start with it too. All right, bottom.
Mickey.
I think he's gonna live.
Do you think the Slaughter was a response to the Pudge if something was a BK? Because that would be really clever.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean,
he's pretty weak against Slaughter.
Yeah, it could have been. I almost certainly expected it to be like the sniper. I thought the sniper pick was in response to the Slaughter, and I think to some degree it definitely is. Liquid just had other ideas here as to when they want the sniper to be strong against the Slaughter. Xiaoba rotating through the river. There is also a gank coming. There's going to be the concussive bolt shot at the sniper. Sniper will do another shrapnel charge. Little headshot proc, not going to stop Xiaoba though from getting the kill. Oh, it will stop him, and in fact, Insania might even have the kill in return, and they've got it. Quick fuck. It kind of
the nightmare sniper that you used to know.
What if they added that as a shard? Shrapnel now affects buildings.
Oh, that would be disgusting. Please, not again.
Don't give him any
And every
ideas.
time it hits the building, you hear the laugh. That's part of the shard as well. Yeah.
Oh no.
That's, Boxy, top lane. We do have a level 5 Night Stalker with 3 points in its passive, so Boxy's going to be forced to TP. Taiga, though, has the shield crash. 32% damage resistance.
Yeah.
However, that's going to fade soon. At the swashbuckle, he's going to be fine.
Pretty good passive here. Bottom, Faith Beyond, is a level 2 hook for him. He's actually going to turn for a quick bash or two onto Mickey. Sania is going to set up for the hook now into Jin Q, into the Frostbite. Now they're going to try and fight Mickey through it. They're going to lose the Skywrath Mage first, but Faith Beyond will get the solo XP for getting the kill onto the safe lane Pudge. Mid lane, they get Xiaoba.
They got Xiaoba. By the way, I have a stat for you from Benji again. Thank you. He's working stats for ESL. Really appreciate him tweeting at us these stats. It's really nice. He says Team Liquid has played 1,878 games of Dota in their history. I'm presuming all iterations.
Yeah, definitely.
And they have never picked Pudge and Sniper in the same game.
Huh. Fascinating. Oh, okay. That was a close hook there by Mickey. Yeah, shout outs to Benji for the tweets. If you like, you tweet at us yourself using the hashtag ESL1 hashtag at SeekerStrike or at Mr. Owl Plus. Xiaoba just eating that casual assassinate. And he's going to be able to regen that off as the push is going to start. Here's Taiga, along with Jin-Q, Xiao Ba with plenty of damage over the pulse Nova as Boxy has well ganking the middle lane. Will find why. Boxy very easily picking up the kill there. And will be able to escape and outrun Jin-Q and Xiao Ba.
Boxy knowing that, well, the sniper is not really a mid laner, he's just here to farm, so he has to kind of fulfill that role and gank. So instead of usually being the mid laner who ganks bottom and top right and creates the pressure, it's Boxy who will gank middle and that's it. While Mickey will hopefully farm up and get his Vanguard, be that tanky hero I was talking about. Played like, again, just bristleback with hook.
Bristleback with hook, I like it. Well, bristleback with hook, oh well, he's hooked to the creep, and he's unfortunately going to find himself toe-to-toe with a Lush and a Jin-Q. Plenty of magic damage here to get right on through him, and without that passive damage resist on Flesh Heap, he is very quick to fall.
So Mickey is struggling, but in exchange, Quake was doing really well, so I guess as a carry pudge, you have more options to not only recover, because you actually have really good recovery methods in terms of farming, but also you don't need to get as much farm, because you're probably just useful as long as you get good hooks. What concerns me is the strength of his Night Stalker soon. I don't know if Ame will choose to go for the Axe build that used to be popular, or the more popular build these days on Night Stalker carry that I've seen once or twice, which is with the Echo Saber Armlet, just kind of physical damage Night Stalker, essentially.
Okay, okay. I feel like the last time we saw Night Stalker was a lot of Midas Ags, wasn't it? So yeah, I think the Armlet Echo Saber perhaps instead does tickle my fancy a little bit more, seeing Ame get a bit more active as here he goes onto Boxy for a bit of harass. Yeah, really good strength gain on this hero. Bottom.
Insane, he's going to tank all the Diabolic Elite, and he will die in place of Mickey. Hope Mickey values this sacrifice. He's quite far nearby. He is a sniper. Activated that take aim. Hopefully murdering Belly, but he's seen him in the trees. He can't tinker his way out of this one, or Hudwig for that matter.
No, he can't.
And immediately Boxy wants inside right. That's going to be a dead in exchange for at least a mid laner for the enemy team. But since Ame joined, that's a huge win for LGD as they managed to clean up Liquid.
Yeah, let's turn into a Liquid graveyard down bottom as all 5 heroes will perish in the bottom lane. For only 4 heroes that were there from LGD. No one farming top 8-9 minutes into the game is kind of unheard of. But seeing as it is a Night Stalker in first nighttime, it's not too surprising to see that. So definitely quite an interesting game of Dota 2 we've got playing out between Liquid and LGD. First Pudge Sniper picked in conjunction in what, 1800 games. The Night Stalker carries back. I mean, it's really Skywrath Mage as well. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. And it is going to be, of course, that first item, Echo Saber for Ame to help increase his farm and speed here. The stats as well, especially that mana gain, are going to go a long way towards having him be able to spam lots of voids. Taiga, speaking of those voids, will find himself now hit by Dark Ascension used as well. Ame without the silence, though, still needing to look for the kill, but it's only level 4. Taiga as mid lane. They're also looking for Y. Xania is going to be next as Ame will get a 2-for-1 special here on the supports. Y thinks he's the only one to fall, and now with that kill, Ame has the silence at the ready, but he's actually tied to the tower. Now the assassinate. Oh my goodness, sniper. That's right. He's got a great attack range as Quake, but will hit him from the triangle, and the tower's going to finish him off. Down goes Ame. 200 gold split between 4 heroes.
Radiant's bottom tower is
It's
under
going to be a
attack.
Night Stalker
Dire's
falling.
top tower is under
Pretty good for
attack.
Liquid, actually. At least you're stopping
Radiant
the
structures
main
are
driving
fortified.
force, I guess, under LGD in the early game. You haven't really dealt with the Leshrac, though, or the Slaughter,
Dire's
but it's a
structures
start.
are
You need to get these
fortified.
kills piling up, especially with a hero like Night Stalker, who struggles to farm.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Taiga just looking to
Radiant's
absorb
bottom
experience
tower
down
is
bottom,
under
speaking of
attack.
heroes that struggle to farm. As he does have at least Boots and the Orb of Corrosion all finished up, and he's not going to want to show here. Or he is going to show right what Taiga Y. It's bait, but can they actually follow up? And Xania now hits level 6, and they take the points in it. Now has just enough here for the ultimate. He finds himself immediately bashed by the Slaughter. Xiao Ba still alive, the assassinate, and ultimately proves to be superfluous, because Quakefa had the kill with just the charge damage alone.
Nice, he had that that Illusion Rune to prevent himself from being silenced and Mystic Flared. Had that all calculated.
Yeah.
Now Mask of Madness. So it is back to the old ho-ho-ha-ha days, actually. Like, this is very similar to the build we used to see.
Yeah, definitely is.
Ame, farming really aggressively. Ame dismembered and killed. Desperation of a Night Stalker trying to find farm, maybe?
Yeah.
But that was not the position for him.
No,
Dire's
at least of
middle
all
tower
versus a
is under
Pudge.
attack.
I mean, and a Pangolin. Like, that's just Yeah, bad positioning, unfortunately, from Ame, as I'm sure his mid laner is telling him as we speak. Okay, continuing to push. The living armor at level 3 here. It's doing decently, actually, at slowing this push, but unfortunately, it will end here for PSG.LGD, and so will the life of this tier 1 tower. As Quakeful get it to work. Gets a nice start from Mickey, though, into the dismember. They're going to find a second kill here in the mid lane. Tower will fall as well to Quakeful. Also getting the last hit here onto the Turret Protector. Beyond, I can only imagine, is about to close in here on the Blink Dagger. 500 more gold, and now he's got it queued up. Xiaoba into the Kaya and Sanj on top of this Hooded Defiance. I think this is going to be the tanky Lesh build that we saw Trident Clan do once, right? It's in Season 2 of the low division Eastern Europe.
Yeah, with Oracle, though.
With Oracle,
the one game they won.
The one game they won, but hey, it worked. It was quite the strat.
Dire's top tower is
I don't know if it'll make him tanky enough to be able to catch up to this sniper, though.
Are scanning.
But it'll make, I think, him a much less appetizing target for something like a hook, or maybe even for Taiga to jump in on his Liquid. Will smoke up as 4 here on their own triangle. No one from LGD, first of all, really showing on the map or defending top lane. So this attempt by Liquid not likely to pan out into anything other than a tier 1 tower.
Yeah, but I mean, tier 1 tower is honestly enough. I mean, obviously you have taken the smoke. Oh, this is maybe a team protector as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Protector
attack.
out of here.
Yeah, TP, Tower Protector. Thunder Predator, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's okay because you want to open up the map. I don't think wasting a smoke here is that valuable, because if you open up the map, you get rid of Night Stalker farming, and he's not ready to fight. I don't know what the timing is for Night Stalker carry, I'll be honest with you. I guess maybe BKB is what they're looking for, but against Sniper it's tough, because until you get Blink Dagger, I don't think you have a moment where you can actually safely run at Quakeful.
Radiant's middle
And
tower
Beyond also
is
went
under
for
attack.
a Hooded Defiance, so he doesn't have the Blink Dagger as early. Which is fine, by the way. It's just that means probably they're waiting for their time to actually catch up to the sniper. Otherwise, he's going to be too annoying.
Yeah, well now he's got that Blink Dagger online. 13 minutes on top of the Hooded Defiance is going to leave him in a decent spot, as we will smoke off of this. Ame as well is going to join for this fight. He's got Dark Ascension ready to go. But it's another smoke from Liquid. They're expecting this, in good positioning from Mickey. He's going to throw the hook. He's going to find Ame. They're on top of the Quakeful, though, but he's able to get away. And Tini not letting it go here with the ultimate. Is in the river, trapped up is Slardar. With that additional move speed, he finds himself at least a little bit of space. A great swap bundle, though, is going to collect the kill here onto Xiaoba. So I'm going to stop the split earth from coming through as Mickey unable to find another hook here in the fight. But Quakeful alive, and in fact turns and gets both kills in that engagement versus LGD.
With that, I think Liquid is maybe in the driving seat, I'd say. You're capable of taking these fights easily. Night Stalker's clearly still not ready. The Leshrac and the Slardar don't seem as scary anymore, and I think that you can play around this Pudge being weaker or not as farmed. It's fine as long as your sniper here is the main source of damage, and Pudge can be a great sponge. As bottom lane, I was talking about this with Proxy, in trouble, almost got out with the Void. We'll get rid of him.
Pretty big kill there, especially during daytime. As Faith Beyond with the Blink Dagger at the ready, thinking about going for Insania. Quakeful, though, here to back him up, and now Mickey, along with Taiga, yeah, everyone here, means that LGD no longer too interested in throwing their lives away in the enemy jungle. I like this, though. Xiaoba as well queuing up a Blink Dagger. Just, that's what you need. Just got to close the gap to Sniper, and he's really actually not that strong once you're on his face. It's really good.
I would say so. Once you, I think everyone should honestly get a Blink Dagger here, because you've already denied the Pudge enough, right? Yes, Liquid is in control right now because of how strong the sniper is, but I don't think they're going to be in control for too long, because now all LGD will just itemize against the sniper specifically, and cutting through the Pudge, which is the biggest issue here, right?
Yesterday we saw as well a position for Skywrath Mage. Oh, this was actually the BTS Pros here. Does Mickey in trouble?
The Defiance and the Vanguard is taking a fair amount, actually. Frostbite, gonna punish on it. Going for the Zimblade, falling thunder, they hook it back. Okay, it's fine. Hook into the Dismember with the Assassinate. They kill Ame, and the Nation Q as well. Proxy, Proxy does get silenced though. Proxy gets hit by the splitter, and he is going to go down. Taiga now trying to outrun this Lesh, but the Lesh can't get away from the Sniper. He's fair game, a Sniper would say, coming right at him. And they have an Assassinate as well. Can they find anyone with it? It seems like it's going to be a Trim Protector. The TPs will complete. safe. Insane is still chasing after him. There's the frostbite, shrapnel on top of this, and they're gonna try to hook him there towards the end, but no extra stacks from Mika.
I probably should have let him hook him as well. He's got 7 stacks of flesh heap, 1, 3, and 6. Pretty impressive stuff. I mean, when it's a high kill game like this one is well over 1 kill a minute, it's not too hard to come by plenty of flesh heap stacks himself. But a great game here from Mika. And yeah, he lives there because he got hit with Defiance. Tumblerstorm not doing much there, but of course the Flesh Heap as well is giving him plenty of magic resist on top of that barrier, which keeps him alive. So that's all what kind of ends up baiting LGD into taking what was a pretty haphazard fight for them, as they will now find out. Okay.
As they now find a sniper, though, this is ideal. The most important kill. Nick saving it. They're committing for this death void. They just need to hit him once with the void.
Oh, the heals.
The heals! They stopped Night Stalker. Quip is still alive. He can actually come back. They have the assassinate ready. They're gonna go and kill Xingqiu. Xingqiu, sorry. And that's going to be rolling thunder from Taiga just to get more space.
Radiant's middle tower
I cannot believe that Quip was alive. Who was
Radiant
Boxy? It was Boxy. That was impressive.
That was a fresh
That
heal
was
scepter.
mid-void cast animation. How?
Yep. Very impressive. Perfect timing there. Allows Quickfoot to not only live, but to turn and find his 11th kill of the game on the sniper. He's actually making this look like a very viable hero.
Radiant
And with the Dragonlance and a Ring of Aquila as well, he's punching pretty hard. Already 121 plus 41 damage on top of the Maelstrom procs. As Liquid continue to keep this tier 1 tower alive. That was Rod of Atos here for Xingqiu, and he still is unable to find that kill onto the sniper. Who would have thought? Pudge Sniper. A pretty good save potential there. As... oh, okay, what that? As Boxy trying for this kill top. He's now going to be assisted by Taiga. Sniper as well nearby. And yeah, they're going to be able to pick him off. Boxy might pay the price of return. Xiaoba actually still alive. He's going to live for now, dodging the hook. Insane as well, closing the door. They should be able to at least pick up here Xingqiu as the shrapnel finds Xiaoba. The swashbuckle to put him down. And Mike there now with his 9th flesh heap stack gets the kill onto Xingqiu.
Good kills for Liquid there. Of course, at the cost of Boxy, but still fine. You haven't been able to kill Night Stalker recently, though, and he's finally getting to that big power spike on the BKB. I think LGD should still wait that Blink Dagger, though, so they can all jump Koizma. They decide not to go for the for the Blink Dagger immediately on Shaba, and Starter has his. I think you can continue. You can afford to play this a bit more defensively if you're LGD, right? Just defend your towers, avoid fights, dodge, 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 and then eventually, hopefully, get these blinks and jump at sniper all at once. Maybe Koikva has to consider a concussive grenade as well. I would like to see that.
It did get buffed a little bit.
I think this is a really strong ability, personally. It's so strong that sometimes when I get a support sniper in my house, I don't report it because I think they're going to use it.
Well,
just sometimes, though.
Just sometimes. And speaking of the sometimes, I'm surprised we're not going to see Mike go for the shard first. He's actually going to finish up Ags for the Rot AoE. As well as, of course, the health regen reduction. So that's a thought.
I'm bristleback with magic.
Yeah, you're totally right. Bristleback with hook. So he's going to stay outside the pit. The carry not helping out in the Roach attempt.
He's going to go in first. Oh, Roman coming. Tiger's going to go out first. I don't think the point is the best objective here. Boxing might be easier. They got rid of Taiga first, and actually, he's not acting at all. Too much damage from Ame. Destroyed. And that BKB, I lied. They don't need to win that. They just need to run after him. Boxy's out. Koizma trying to stand his ground. And it is allowed, but unfortunately, he's not going to be successful. It's going to be a win here for LGD. Yeah, a huge one against Liquid. Wow.
Yeah, that BKB, yeah, I guess was enough. 186 plus 207 right now on the Night Stalker. Yeah, that'll do it, as he just runs everyone down. I mean, all this physical damage, right, thanks to the Dark Ascension bonus damage, in conjunction with the minus armor on the Corrosive Haze, just shreds everyone on Team Liquid, including the sniper, as he's the only one to be able to get a kill in this engagement. Even his own life was gone, so he just at least is going to be able to take the offlane slaughter with him.
Okay. Still a pretty big win, I think, for LGD, and just kind of setting the tempo of the game for them. Either the Pudge needs to start farming more or be more useful. Maybe the Axe is going to be what gives them that. But I just feel like Night Stalker is tearing right through him. And Night Stalker just seems like a stronger carry right now than both the Sniper and the Pudge combined. I see we're watching the replay now.
Yep. That might be up just to see.
So you see how Ame just runs at them? I thought, oh, you need Blink. You can't get close to the Sniper either. Who cares? They just bullwhipped him. That was enough. I mean, he did get rid of Faith Beyond, which is impressive. Quickly deals so much damage, but they still tore right through him afterwards.
Yeah, it really didn't look that difficult for Ame. Just BKBs and kind of runs at people. And again, with Corrosive Haze, it's kind of amazing how fast they went down. Not only that, but Liquid did them a pretty big favor by doing probably 70% of the damage to Roshan. So not like they needed much help, of course, still with Dark Ascension, and well, the Slardar was dead, I suppose. But you know, they managed to get through him relatively easily. That was an aggressive assassinate that's going to reveal the presence of a ward and not yield any kills. I think this ward's expiring soon. Yeah, it's whatever.
Is there a possibility for Liquid to get a... And we'll see how impactful the Pudge is now with the Rot. I'm curious. But after that, I do feel like there needs to be something else besides the Sniper as a target. Because the Sniper will die too quickly. Maybe Boxy if he goes for an Axe build, but he's just going for full utility here. If you make it too easy for LGD to pick their targets in the fight, if they can just actually ignore the Pudge like they did last time, I think these fights are going to be really difficult for Liquid, unless they have some sort of high ground advantage or something. But I don't know what itemization you could get on Pudge. this game is so out of my wheelhouse. I don't know what itemization you get on Pudge to make it more relevant this game.
Yeah, no, you're right. Maybe,
you know, ATR, he used to go for AC on this hero.
I was about to say, I kind of like the idea of an AC, a little bit of bonus armor here versus Slardar. A lot of our damage, of course, now, I mean, Lesh's Edict is pure, but it's a lot still physical, of course, and the minus armor on Slardar is a big issue, as well as when the carry Ame is right-clicking you to death. I think that maybe strikes me as a decent item, because BKB, I think, you still just die as quickly as those Ame. Improving the points, trying to get through Mickey, you just knock it up to the high ground. It's a good bushwhack. Sorry, it's a good Rolling Thunder, but not good enough. As outcomes now, the Overgrowth, Taiga is going to be at least allowed to leave, but that's a very scary sight. The Night Stalker flying up to your high ground, BKB and DD active, as they're going to look to try and find Boxy, who is split pushing. Going to be a little bit too late on the TPs, though. Vapeon? Wait. No, Vapeon, certainly you don't make this jump.
Yes, certainly he does. He found the snipe. I thought it's here too. What are you doing? And actually, punching Vapeon, he going to die. They even caught Hamed. What's he going to do? Stay right now. He lost our reception. Insania keeps on spinning. She keeps on dancing. Coming back to the Frostbite. I think I'm going to meet his maker 2 times in a row. Hope the first trip was nice, because now you're going there for longer.
Ooh. That's why I said certainly we don't make this jump. I mean, it was just Boxy you guys saw down bottom. You knew that there were 4 other heroes in the high ground. Where else could they have gone?
Yeah. That's with your coach playing with you. That's when the coach gets into the mode of the game and they're like, can we jump? Go. Yeah, let's go.
Oh, that was quite the ambitious jump from LGD. And yeah, now Liquid, I mean, hey, ho, Sniper is going to just push you down. In fact, they caught Y thanks to the vision of Boxy. Taiga is going to think about going for the Rolling Thunder, and in fact, he will commit. As Y, unable to escape, he's just going to throw down at least the Nature's Grasp. But Boxy will have the damage for the kill. They've TP'd, because down bottom, look who they've caught. Coach, the director.
And Leshruck is going to die here to make a... And Quickly, sorry. Quickly was the main reason. Alright, well, that Ag's kind of working. He did survive as well. He's starting to get stronger. Maybe the thing with Pug is not about getting a certain item, it's just getting enough punching stats. As we lose Boxy, by the way, in the mid lane.
Under attack.
I just shield crashed in place, but... You know what happens when you shield crash in front of a fish, they get scared.
See, that's the kind of jump I was expecting, and I do like how Jin Q has gone for the Blink Dagger. Again, I don't remember the game exactly. I just know that there was a Skywrath Mage in a game. It was the BTS Pro Series where a Skywrath Mage bought a Blink Dagger. This item is so good for him because he is made of paper. This hero, to be quite honest, 9 armor, well less actually, 4 armor total. He had 9 just because he was underneath the tower with 1400 HP at level 13. Doesn't really build too many stats, especially strength. So this hero just dies. So having a Blink Dagger to be able to blink in, avoid a sniper, avoid the hook range, and force Boxy to really step out way too far to try and kill you is a good solution here for the position for Skywrath.
I do think that if Rolling Thunder, just in time. I do think that if LGD initiates properly, like if they got an initiation, not like the crazy one we just saw, right, but a real one, I do think that it's probably going to be not that hard to team fight. The problem though is that Sniper just gets on your nerves. He really does. You think that you need to jump him, everyone, yourself, you just see, you hear his laugh, and you want to kill him.
He's gonna die here in the mid lane.
That's the right kill. Get rid of the tank first. Now it's an opportunity to jump the more valuable targets in the back. Beyond is leading the charge. He might not be tanky enough. Oh, it's the Crystal Maiden. Target section for vision. Yep, you try it spinning. Not gonna work out.
Try it now. Try it with what, -6 armor or whatever this poor Maiden had. Especially with all that bonus damage, as Jinkyu will place down a ward, and it looks like a tier 2 tower down bottom push, maybe even as well as mid, is now incoming. Yeah, much better jumps here from LGD. Radiant is a bit better here, as they're able to find a couple of pickoffs here in the mid lane, basically just twice in a row, right? Because they get Boxy mid, and now they find Mickey farming Boxy. And, well, Boxy before, right? They caught him mid like a minute or two ago. Yeah, but these jumps are a lot better. You just need to have Jinkyu ready to go on that Atos Blink, and of course Mystic Flare.
Yep.
Radiant's
Of course,
bottom
that's what the
tower
Lotus Sword
is
Bill
under
on Boxy is
attack.
for. We're going to save himself. Oh, he actually chose against it. He just went for the plate mail.
It's a good item.
So
just the bonus armor. Pudge as well has gone for just the casual plate mail. I was wondering if he was going to build into the AC or the Lotus himself, but for now it just seems, hey, we need to be a little bit tankier for the rest of our team. Assassinate.
Protector tried to get rid of the ward. It's one of the things he hates the most. Takes forever.
Yeah,
40 seconds on. Not that big a deal, mind you. But Liquid is getting the pickoffs they're looking for. They're also making sure these team fights are never as coordinated as LGD would like. They're not letting the Night Stalker just jump the back lines, do this. They continue to get these nice pickoffs and now try to play with a number superiority.
Yeah, but Liquid are smoked now in the river. LGD currently in their
Radiant's
triangle, but
top
they're
tower
currently
is
making
under
way
attack.
towards Faith Beyond, who's actually going to dodge them by looking to push the tier 1 tower. Arrows drawn on the map
Radiant's top
now.
tower has fallen.
Liquid, persistent as ever,
Beyond.
might be rewarded for this.
That's the number. Doesn't matter if it's the BKB and Slither Clash. Has the BKB, he will survive that Mystic Flare. They have to settle for a V3. As Boxy will try desperately to stop Jinkyu, not gonna happen. So LGD will only lose their offlaner here. Not that big a deal. They could have been Night Stalker, but a good smoke regardless by Liquid.
Yeah, good smoke regardless. Unfortunately, it's not going to really pan into anything here because it's a long Roche timer. They won't know this, of course, and neither will LGD. But 2.5 minutes here until Roche respawns. Roche on number 2 with Aegis and Aghanim Shard on that one. Although, might be rewarded with a kill onto Xiao Ba now as he's to be caught. Illusion rune used. Boxy continuing to give chase with the Blink Dagger for Xiao Ba. As you suggested everyone go for a Blink Dagger, and it seems like LGD will heed that advice.
Silence.
Strong Night Stalker. And maybe okay, he was very close to getting away.
It's got BKB on this Night Stalker in
do
10
have-
seconds. I think Sniper's a bit further from his. Yeah, Quinto's got him in 10 seconds as well, but Poxy's immediately killed off. Might think about going for more. Jinkyu sets up for the round of Atos. Great hook from Mickey though, as they shouldn't end up killing him. No, just kidding, they still have him.
Gratitude.
Alright, 2 kills then for LGD as they will lose their offlaner, but strike back with the Dark Ascension. AC finish now as well for Faith Beyond, as he will go and scout Roshan, but he's not going to find him home yet. Still need another 1.5 minutes until he's home. And an overwhelming blink is actually in the quick buy now for Xiao Ba. Okay, for the director. Good blink dagger canceller.
Overwhelming. Yeah, okay. Alright, a bit more damage as well. Interesting choice though. I guess it's just too slow for the sniper, right? He actually didn't go for the Hurricane Pike or the Concussive Grenade, so if they catch up to him, he can only run. They have 4 steps on Crystal Maiden though, and
a Pudge, yeah. And a
Radiant's
Pudge.
top tower is under attack.
Quakeva is he's a man of culture, isn't he? So he's going to be going Slasher's way into the Satanic for the sniper. Great item though. Great item for the sniper here. He's going to be really brutal with the take aim active as well. Just life stealing like a madman. They're going to be waiting for Roche another 30 seconds. So the smoke play from Liquid, they're going to try and find anything. But look how defensive LGD are faced right now, or placed. No one outside of the base. They've got all their tier 2 towers up. Yeah, now they're going to smoke up and look for an aggressive play of their own. Roshan up in 10 seconds. Insania, though, position 5 has been put on Roche checking duty. He will be sitting in the pit here with the Shadow Amulet. He might be the one to break the smoke, actually. As Faith Beyond into the river, he will go. His smoke will break. They might think there's more heroes in Roche. There's going to be the ward down. Roshan now has respawned. Insania allowed to leave the pit. Ame, though, will give chase. Has the BKB ready to go. Caught by the 8th unit. There's the hook out from Nikke, but also Jamba on the high ground. They're going to stop the maiden from singing as they've killed him through the ultimate now. Nullifier onto Nikke. It means he melts. He's going to buy back now, but Taiga with a great rolling thunder here. He's found Jin Q. Jamba as well, still able to evade the rolling thunder for now with a nice juke play there, as it's going to be the shard from the Lash who catches 3 on the back lines as they were trying to get onto the high ground to fight them, but caught by the Nature's Grasp, and then the Split Earth, they were unable to assist, so Taiga as well will end up falling.
Is under attack.
Well, good fight for LGD, but not all that good in the end, right? Because you don't get the kills you're probably looking for. The sniper's still a bit too elusive, and LGD is itemized all for the sniper, try to catch him. Still unable to do so. However, considering you're going to the enemy triangle, I think you made the best out of a pretty difficult situation to begin with.
There's just a kill into Y. We'll cut back for it, though.
Sorry, to be fair, actually, they forced the buyback on Nikke, so
they did, yeah, they got the buyback on Nikke.
Slipped my mind, yeah, so that's probably the biggest part of that. I mean, again, I really do think it's sniper or bust right now, but yeah, sure, you got the fat man.
You did. Yeah, you did.
But he's not going to sing just yet, though, so that's the problem. The LGD needs to finish this game soon before it becomes too big a problem to deal with. And the Liquid just want to regain their footing by taking this quick Roshan. Are LGD not wanting to contest this?
Wait, we have Satanic already.
Not done.
Right? Quickly just fairly tanky. Quickly just needs to disassemble.
He just needs to disassemble
That's madness.
I honestly think you should.
I give it to Nikke.
Give it the little punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, the save is good. Oh, no. Who did I give it to?
I guess
He didn't need it either.
Taiga, I think? Or did
Taiga?
Yeah, because he's got one in the quick buy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Taiga is one of the best shards in the game. It's also that you're a support, I guess. That's where the logic is coming from. Like, if they want shard, they can farm it, whereas Taiga won't.
Beyond going for his own BKB now on top of the Blink Dagger. Do we have actually, how many blinks do we have right now on LGD? I think 4? Yeah. Why the Train Protector, the only one without a blink, but he's at a force to look to close the gap. Well, I'm not gonna lie, a blink overgrowth as well strikes me as a very powerful tool to have versus this sniper, regardless or not of the pudge. Just at least, because overgrowth, roots are a little bit inconsistent now. They used to be even more wildly inconsistent, but I believe overgrowth does cancel channels and stops you from attacking, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Not TP. Sorry, not just the TP channel though, not the other channels.
Right. Yes, thank you for that. That's important.
Right, so
there's a big difference.
Yeah. So that's why the freezing field can go right through. In fact, they're struggling with that freezing field when they got it. But it's all about, like, LGD's just taking fights which in ground they can control for the most part, and now they're trying to actually break away. They did one messed up fight behind the tier 2 for the most part. Not that bad though. They have high ground control. They actually just picked 3 heroes. Oh, the sniper. They need one more hit. They're gonna get him. That's it. Quick was down. That's his first life. He's out of position. This is a sniper. So that's not gonna succeed. The damage is so high. They kill back up, and he's actually dealing too much damage. They also this Night Stalker. Koiba trying to get away as Nikke falls before Koiba has enough space between him and Night Stalker, but now crippling to your honor, rolling thunder, covering him. Koiba holding his ground. The damage is high. It's enough. They bring him down. The sniper is dead, and so is everyone around him. LGD will take this fight.
Don't let your memes be dreams, kids. Slasher's way, I was so tempted to yell. I thought I was going to go for him. I nearly did, but LGD, they wise up, and they choose to do the, the DOTA or the bristleback strategy of just kill everyone else around the sniper while that Satanic is active, because there was no way they were going to get him through that Satanic active lifesteal. Just way too much there. LGD, they still come off losing 2 heroes as well, but Slaughter, I think, is a worthwhile loss here. Definitely well worth it. But Liquid making some pretty aggressive movements without their entire team nearby. Boxy, he was the last basically to join that fight, and didn't really have a whole lot of spells at his disposal either when he got there. I think he had an astral step to get up the cliff.
Has fallen.
Tough fight there. These split earth shards as well, like the super, what's the best way to call these extra split earths that you end up getting, the aftershocks maybe even, are just doing so much work in these fights. They got like 3 or 4 stuns onto Taiga when he was trying to run around and at least get some disarms onto people. Just no dice there.
Radiant's middle
People
tower
take down the
has fallen.
tower. The Sniper's gotten back in 9 seconds, mind you, so like, they can't actually push as much as they'd like to. But honestly, getting rid of the Aegis was so massive there for LGD that Aegis plus Sniper, right? I think they're really happy with that anyway.
Yeah, all the outer towers are taken.
Split Earth, by the way. I think that Liquid has a hard time making sure that they preserve the area, whatever they're fighting, right? This is why LGD has had much more liberty of running at them. Liquid need to stand their ground. They need to fight to the death. And Split Earth makes that really difficult with a shard, mind you.
Yep.
So does Night Stalker in general, because Crippling Fear is also an area denial spell in a different way.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
Liquid doesn't have that. It's just freezing field.
It's such a problem, right? Because you have 2 heroes who just want to press. Well, I mean, for Sniper, right? I guess he needs to press a couple of buttons. He needs to press. He's, by the way, kept Mask of Madness and Satanic both. So his lifesteal is well, berserk right now, if I can use a pun. As Boxy. Oh no, Ami's set a trap for him. And, well, the trap will be sprung and Boxy will be killed. There's going to be that Silver Edge coming into play.
Piece of bristles.
But Sniper, much like a DOTA, kind of just wants to press their buttons and A-click the ground, and kind of, you know, ideally, if they can, just stand in one spot and let the Sniper do most of the damage, just targeting the right kind of targets. Maiden as well, quite similar. Taiga rolls around more in these fights, but Mickey as well, if he's going to get off of dismember, you got to stand still, and that's just such a problem here versus a lot of what LGD have, right? You don't want to be standing still with a Train Protector. You don't want to be standing in one place versus a Lash, especially even without or with a Shard or a Skywrath Mage. Like, it's if you like look at how these heroes want to be playing fights, you know, it is particularly brutal for Liquid to take these, especially if they're on equal footing. They have to make sure that whatever fights they propose, they've got some kind of leg up here. LGD. Now with Xiaoba, by the way, did go all the way in for this overwhelming blink, so he's got this one now ready to go.
He's the biggest area denier in this game, honestly. Once again, I would have loved for him to consider the Ags, because I think the Ags against the Sniper would have been brutal, but I get that you just want to murder him with Night Stalker, so who cares, right? I see where they land, but the whole idea is jump the Sniper, don't let him get away, and just kill him as soon as possible. The enemy team doesn't have save yet, and I am surprised because Mickey could have just gone for the Shard somewhat at some point, and maybe that would have helped the Sniper a lot more, but maybe they just opened Mickey up like a piñata.
Yeah, that is true, right? Or like a Kinder Egg and a nice little Sniper surprise inside for you.
No, don't say that. You're American. You guys don't get those.
That's okay. Very true. They're back now. They're back, but it's okay. Don't tell the Europeans. Yeah, don't tell the Europeans.
People figured out that they.
It's okay. Don't tell the Europeans. They have to. Shh. It's okay.
What am I?
What Dire are scanning.
That's a bit of all.
I don't know. Well, I think the idea is, why do we need to save the Sniper if he can just activate both of his lifesteals for what? Like, how much lifesteal is this?
I just think that, yeah, I mean, the both lifesteals are very interesting idea, but goes for the Void Spirit. Crippling Fear. Yeah. Oh, one hit was 600 damage. Oh my goodness, no stuff that hurts.
Oh no, they're onto Insania as well.
For more.
What?
Insania used Glimmer Kick.
Oh.
I thought he nullified him.
I guess he nullified him during the fade delay, and then the fade kicked in, so the nullifier didn't hit him.
Right last second. Okay. Fair enough. In case you guys don't know, because nullifier will get rid of that Glimmer Kick.
It will if you have vision on him, but I suppose he lost vision, so the projectile got disjointed. My guess was as to what happened there.
Yep.
Like, I mean, he's got a ridiculous amount of lifesteal, doesn't he, as well, with the Paladin Sword? It's just, again, with Satanic active, I don't think LGD actually have enough damage to go through him and kill him, which is shocking to say, with minus 20 armor on a Slaughter and plus 200 damage on a Night Stalker. Yeah, but I don't think they actually have enough to get through him. Although, with Eye of Scotty, maybe that changes. It's a big reduction here on all of that lifesteal.
Radiant are
Boxy,
scanning.
unfortunately, as much as you said you wanted to see him back on the Void Spirit, I think regrettably for him, this is a game where he was hoping to play something else.
Yeah.
He's just kind of been fish food, and not fish food in the sense that, like, you know, he's been eating other people. It's been the fish that's been eating him all game.
We see you.
He's been in that position where, like, Liquid just kind of veered their positions a bit, right? The carry's in the mid lane, the tank is in the carry lane, and the mid lane is in the off lane. That's kind of what Liquid did. They did a little bit of rotation there, which they do, by the way, a lot.
They do.
They love these kind of drafts. It's like their favorite. And in this game, it's bad because if you give the tank this much farm priority, you just don't have any utility for the mid laner. Right? Usually the mid laner is struggling to keep up, and that's happening to Boxy. Like, he struggles to keep up just barely as the game progresses, but he can't because he has no farm priority. And I think in this game, to be honest, your farm priority is given mainly to the sniper anyway, because it's quick or bust. Like, he is the winner in this game. As they also, now talk about fish though.
Oh,
Maybe I don't think he did.
all right.
This fish is golden. Oh my god, I can't believe he hit. Oh, he wanted the bash. Never mind.
And they want to fight. They want to fight now.
He has it ready.
Liquid, they dared to venture outside of the base, and now Scary Batman's running them down. Oh, Insania, he's going to be in some trouble. BKB active Nikkei as well. At least gets up to dismember. Insania, though, still alive. Actually walks back into the silence. He can go absolutely no overgrowth now. At least the channel from the ultimate for just a second, but not much he could do. They find Boxy. Insania's going to buy it back. Zhao Ra forced into the Aether Remnants, but Taiga stuck on the low ground by the crippling fear is going to be finished off. Quakeba underneath his tier 4 towers will find a little bit of refuge here. Still has a BKB. Jinq going to try and force it out from him. Boxy having just fought back now. Does pull back Jinq, but Zhao Ra still nearby with a decent amount of HP and mana to do some damage. And with these Edict explosions, he is tearing through your Parrots. My goodness, these these split Earth aftershocks are so annoying.
But they retreat once again, huh? They're afraid of giving Liquid this chance because snipers are so good at protecting high ground that you go, well, there is that one chance that he 1v5s us as soon as take aim is up, you know? And they're respecting him. That's okay, but they're not getting that much, all things considered, these kills. Actually, I lied. There's a Roshan. That's the much better objective.
Yeah, that's going to be what LGD are going to be quite happy to take here. Yeah, I think it's like, I'm surprised Quakeba wasn't able to do a little bit more damage from the high ground there. I think, honestly, he was zoned away a bit by these split Earths. Because Jabba put one on the high ground, which made the fight really awkward for Sniper and the rest of Liquid, really, to try and initiate a round. As there's Aegis for Night Stalker. Cheese, that was third Roche. It does have a cheese. Who's got Refresher? I just want to take a look at these items before we cut to replay. Where's everything? Okay, Refresher for the Treant. And I don't know who's holding on to the
cheese?
Fondue. But we'll check that in a second.
Oh, it's on the slaughter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, that makes sense on Faith Beyond. He also has an aesthetics cap as well, so he is going to be like just the frontliner, which is really what Liquid is missing. A frontliner that could actually scale, right? Like Pudge should have been that. The Pudge pick has been a bit underwhelming, to be honest, from him. Hasn't really done as much as I was expecting him to. Maybe just Night Stalker's too strong, right? He can't really defend relatively easily, as we're going to see now. They're going to just burst him down. There's just no chance to make it. They also catch up to the Void Sprayer with a nice part of Aethos and the Ancient Seal. I think it's sufficient. They're going to go for the Rats instead. And taking back this damage. Yeah, you can feel. And for now, the Night Stalker hurting us. They need to run that Twitter won't help. They've not lost anyone just yet. And LGD Java finally goes down. So they're going to rush here. As the Night Stalker goes home. And that's going to be Void Sprayer dying. Together with Nikkei a second time. He fought back for this. They'll take down 3, and these guys all have no buyback. Turbo which actually used it to be 5. And they're running no cover. That overwhelming void paying off now. And with a Nova Fire, they'll team wipe twice and get the game. LGD will get a 2-kill against teamliquid.
Yeah, really impressive get up from LGD here as well. This last fight, I mean, pushing a 50k net worth lead towards the end of this engagement is a little bit mad. Unfortunately,